certified bandersnatch, adventurist extraordinaire, survival expert, Dank Flavours lead frontman. That girl got the jungle fever. I've snitched on over 20 of the most exotic cultures on the planet, but nothing has quite prepared me for what I'm about to encounter. This time, I'm risking it all, thrusting myself into the epicenter of the world's most feared empire. I have no camera crew, no hotel, no gimmicks. This is China as never seen before. Shanghai, the largest city proper in the world. Welcome to this urban jungle, a sea of 24 million terrible drivers, with no form of civilization whatsoever. I'm stranded in this transoceanic void, a desert of any familiarity, in a remote world of incompatible hieroglyphics, adventitious scam artists, and superstitious orientals. Air quality is similar to that of a forest fire on Neptune. Even the toothpaste here can kill you. Yellow fever rages, with no known vaccination to date.
They say if you get lost out here, you've only got about a 4% chance of making it back. I'm going to put myself in the position of a stranded tourist to show you the survival techniques and skills needed to stay alive in this post-communist cold hard to kill it, infamous to the world as Shanghai, China.
All I've brought with me are water, shades, and a fork, which might be my most useful tool in this foreign land. The water in my bottle won't last long, and the tap water here is riddled with organisms and parasites that can make you expel fluids you can't afford to lose. What? I'll need to move quickly, but carefully, and be sure not to draw any attention to myself. The biggest difference between me and the enemy is the fact that I've got a cock. That's right, I'm a Caucasian, while they're just simply Asian. It's a small difference on paper, but on the ground, I'm already seeing evidence of carnage towards previous trespassers.
I'm a foreigner, and the natives have a term for people like me. They're called Lao Wais, which directly translates to old outsider. And with that terminology, I already know the locals don't like me being here. And I'm going to have to rely exclusively on my own instincts and experience in the field to get through this challenge.
So many television shows these days focus on how to survive in the wild. But with the human race expanding to well over 7 billion and natural ecosystems diminishing via our unsatisfied thirst for raw materials, your airplane is more likely to crash land in a human habitat than an abandoned forest. If you don't know how to adapt and survive in an alien culture, you won't have a chance of making it home in one piece.
And your first key to surviving is to identify your surroundings, your environment, and your supplies, and to start to get a grasp on the situation that you're in.
If you panic, it could prove fatal.
I've just seen something. Let's go! And you can see I've come across a track here made by a native animal that could be worth following. And you can tell by the small shoe size that these are very foreign creatures, unlike the modern Western Homo sapien. Look at that for comparison. Doesn't even compare. Look at the size difference. And the foot seems to be pointed towards the city centre. Could be worth following to find some sort of civilization. And the first thing I want to do is get to a vantage point for my bearings. And the best place for that is to get to the centre of the land where I can gain the height advantage, and from there I can delineate a vista for escape. Come on, let's move. Wow, would you look at this? In traversing this desolate, barren land, I've come across this gigantic piece of infrastructure, which I've identified as a communist-era satellite. And it's amazing to find one of these. It was initially responsible for communicating with the Soviets, as well as for tapping outspoken criticism of the government. And it's amazing to find something this big. This must be some kind of relic. You don't see it like this anymore. Wow!
It'll be getting dark soon, and I'll need to find shelter before nightfall. Luckily, this terrain is even flatter than their chests, and I'm able to cover ground quickly.
This foliage seems to be an accurate representation of the modern Chinese female's pubic caretaking. It's simply an uncatered jungle of weeds and shrubs. They'll leave even the most experienced of navigators forever disorientated.
At the heart of the city, I'll reach some sort of transcommunication antenna, probably responsible for transmitting brainwash propaganda. I don't waste any time climbing to the top.
To a high point is vital in terms of understanding the layout of the land. But also, I'm up here in hopes of waving down any passing ships or passing airplanes that might be able to rescue me.
But the outlook appears grim. This landscape is typical of the urban Chinese environment. Factories, apartments, high-rises, smog.
Look here, it's just utterly forbidding. And it's easy to see how so many people get lost out here in the thick undergrowth. In fact, I knew a guy who did just that. He went out without any navigation tools. They never found his body. Here any longer. The air is just too thin. I've got to move on. Come on.
I've managed to acquire adequate shelter in the barracks of an old apartment building. A good vantage point to the east will let me prepare for attacks from the seaboard.
Yo, what's up, MTV? It's your boy. Come on in. Let me give you the tour. From the dining room, state of the art. Coming into the living room. You got contemporary furniture. Actually, there's no cable, no channels, so I've never actually watched anything on that. Now, when I was buying this place, I was like, yo, gotta have a view, gotta have a view. After you've gone, close that up, otherwise the neighbors can see him. Alright, next, take you into the kitchen. State-of-the-art cookware. This place was recently redone back in 2002 BC. Pencils, chopsticks. And the reason I say recently redone is because the stove kept leaking. We had like 6 gas leaks and almost blew ourselves up. So eventually they just gave us a new stove. But it's a nice stove. Bathroom. There's one morning that I was actually taking a piss, just like this, and a rat swam up into the bowl right here, just swam right up, and scared literally just the shit out of me. I didn't actually shit my pants, but you know, it was pretty fucking scary. And that's just sort of the environment that you live here, just
wildlife can approach you at any time. Look, man, I know y'all ain't ready for this, but I'm gonna have to show it to you anyway. It's the master suite. This is where the magic happens. Alright, come on. Sort of a contemporary design. I styled it myself. We got the heady taps on the wall. This one actually isn't even a tapestry, it's my towel, but I knew you guys were coming over, so I just kind of put it on the wall, fill up some wall space. What else we got over here? Heady 3D picture of Shanghai skyline. Water rations, that'll last us maybe a few days. But we're absolutely gonna need some beer. We are completely out of that right now. So I know you'll probably be saying like, yo man, what's up with them purple sheets? Man, I'm telling you, purple sheets, check them out. Link right here. Anyway, but, whoa, what's that? That's not mine. It's not mine. How'd that get there? That's funny. That's strange. It's not mine. It's not even mine. It's not. It's not mine. Yeah, personally, I think it's time for a change. Yo, now y'all, this be the real moneymaker. This is why I bought the place, actually. This fucking view. Check this shit out. As I've managed to secure a shelter, my primary obligation now is finding food. In the urban jungle, you have to take what you can get, but hunting at night offers many more opportunities as the street vendors make their way out from their daytime hibernation. I've come across an optimal foraging opportunity, and I have to strive to get the calories because I'm starving right now. But I have to be extra careful for a number of reasons. For one, the natives that I've encountered here have absolutely horrid breath, and it could be, I'm afraid, a byproduct of their diet. The other reason being that the teeth, the smell that shit, they're going everywhere. They're completely mangled. It's like as if they took a candied apple, bit into it, twisted it, ripped it out, all different directions. It's completely, it's a mess. And so I've got to be careful what I bite into because I don't want that to happen to me, right? I think we both know I haven't got a pretty face, but this right here, this is the money maker, so I can't be ruining that, and I can't. It's always been my experience that around the world, anything wrapped in a banana leaf is always universally delicious. Oh yeah. Do you have a fork?
bird it looks like. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we're going to have to try it. Just a second. Okay. 多少钱？6块。很好吃吗？这边好吃，Great. Does that come with a fortune cookie? Never mind. Oh, look at that. It's brilliant. It's gone straight through the eyes. Oh, and it looks delicious. I'm just gonna have to sink my teeth into this, see what happens. I'm not sure.
Bon appetit.
It's really actually difficult to eat. And that is just disgusting. That is just vile. You can see the inside of it. It's got the guts pouring out of it. It's just an entire bird. Try the neck right now. It's got no better redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's absolutely horrid. I don't know why anybody would ever eat that in their entire life. It's absolutely disgusting. I've got it stuck between my teeth now. I need to pick it up. Oh god. What the fuck is this? Well, I need the nutrients, and that's what matters. I'm gonna have to wolf this down. Yeah, I want it real spicy. It's an amazing moment in your life when you realize you're capable of hunting and catching your own food. And it finally gives me a confidence. You know, without your family and friends to give you support, it's finding small victories to boost your survivors' morale and determination to carry on. And it's another day you can stay alive. But now that we've cinched the appetite, finding water is the most important next step. It's only rained maybe a handful of times over the past few months, so I'm not going to be able to rely on rainwater collection in this arid environment, and I'm going to have to scavenge for what I can get.
Your body can live without food for weeks, but only a few days without water.
And I finally come across a natural spring with fresh water, and it's delicious, it looks great. But there's a lot of brands here, and I've got to be careful. But this one here looks like it's got English writing, there's no Chinese, and I know that I can be safe with that one, so I'm going to take as many as I can. city, you have some of the most recognizable architecture in the entire world. However, if you travel just outside of those few famous blocks, you quickly encounter a world where everything looks exactly the same. You can take a metro 10 stops and think you never left the first one. It's just these grey, beige buildings in every direction. A monotonous architecture fabricated by China's thirst to pave the earth with these standardised megatropolises. The plan is quite efficient. They create these buildings in factories, making giant Lego-like pieces, which they then ship out and assemble like IKEA furniture. And it leaves you with this homogeneous landscape, devoid of any character or diversity, resembling the dream limbo world of Inception.
But a dream world, this is far from, because becoming disoriented in some of the city outskirts, where there are no English speakers whatsoever, is nothing more than a ceaseless night terror. Day 1. Made it through day 1. Pretty happy about that. This was a tough day. This was a tough day. Getting acclimatized, trying to figure out the layout of the land and all of that. So you can see I've hunkered down, temporary quarters for the evening. Certainly what I hope will just be temporary until I can one day plant my feet back on that soil. As you can see, I've hung the flag of freedom. It's an emblem of my struggle. I'm really trying to keep a positive attitude on this whole experience. But with what's been going on, the low beer rations, who knows? Who knows how long that can last? Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, Google, it's all blocked. I've got no access, no communication with the outside world. And I know that, better men than I have certainly broken down from far less. So that's one thing that certainly worries me deep down inside. Just sort of wondering how long I can last in this sort of situation. It's a savage wilderness. That's the only way to describe it. Savage. But alas, I've really got to try and hold on to any hope at all possible. Anyway, I'm checking out for the evening. I'll need my rest in order to battle tomorrow's challenges. See you then. China has a history deeply rooted in communism, and it would be impossible to make any conclusions about modern-day China without first understanding its dark historical context. A strong presence of propaganda still propagates properties. Large satellite dishes are everywhere, collecting surveillance. Military exercises are also still strictly entertained, indiscriminate of age. The Chinese government seems to be embarrassed of its grassroots culture and has worked diligently to promote a facade of futuristicness while covering up its local treasures. But its method has been to put band-aids on broken bones, because beneath the gift wrap is the ugly truth. For example, walking down this modern street with shopping malls, sidewalks and sunshine, you'd never expect that on the other side of this wall to be an entire village run down with poverty. But in fact, this is the existence of many Chinese, backstage, behind the sets of pretty lights and contemporary skyscrapers. Sweeping things under the carpet is heavily ingrained in the collective mindset. For example, how my twice-weekly cleaning lady sweeps all the dirt in my room under my bed. Children are forced to play in piles of trash and light plastic bags on fire as a form of alternative entertainment to television. China imposes a strict and impenetrable censorship on its people in terms of foreign media exposure. Perhaps because of this unfamiliarity with how the rest of the world does things, the Chinese people have evolved a highly unique set of customs and societal acceptabilities. Let's run the gauntlet. Dogs. They're on the menu. Dead animal carcasses can be found anywhere, at any time, lying on the street, or hanging from laundry lines or tree branches. Public adverts of a guy wanking it receive no attention, mainly due to an unfamiliarity with the practice. That's because strip clubs and all pornography are outlawed in China. But if you need a servicing, there's a brothel at just about every corner. There's the fact that people bundle up like it's the Arctic, in a biosphere that grows palm trees. Surgical masks are called fashion masks and come in every design. With everyone pretending to dress up as a dentist, it's shocking to find they all have horrible teeth. For reasons unknown, the high-speed Chinese person will always engage the shuffle run, as if the metaphoric stick up their asses was actually real. Clearly, the absence of proper utensils advocates the absence of table manners. The Chinese love to play cricket, but it's not the same game that you and I grew up with as lads in the Queen's backyard. No, rather, the Chinese fiercely engage in cricket fights, where they line up two angry insects against each other in a fight to the death. These Chinese men search diligently for a specimen worthy of their next match. The highly elusive Chinese man marks his territory via a thick, buccal scat expelled violently from his embouchure. The ritual begins with a deep glottal sound, one of the most heinous known to mankind. The purpose? Warn other males to stay away. What ensues is a projectile of phlegm that all passerbys hope hits the ground, uninterrupted by sleeve or shoe. The Chinese engage in some of the most peculiar exercises you've ever seen. If you're thinking about adding any of these to your routine, just remember how well the Chinese did at the last Olympics. The Chinese youth are little dumplings of cuteness, which boggles me how they can grow to become such horribly hideous adults. My main theory is due to cigarette consumption. China is a place where you can smoke 2 packs a day, just on second-hand smoke. Recent figures estimate that China has 30% of the world's population and 20% of the world's smokers. I'm no math major, but that basically means a lot of people here smoke. What's more, the Chinese are masters of the solo pot. Even indoors, no smoking policies are proudly ignored. Luckily, distribution is strictly regulated, and walking down a public street, you won't ever encounter a Mickey Mouse-themed arcade game filled with cigarettes that anyone can play. I'm able to use this language barrier to my advantage, since no one can understand me.
You silly bitch, where are my waffles? Thanks, cunt. You're a horrible little shit. Hey, faggot, you like sucking on wieners, don't you? Like the way they feel in your mouth, right? Hey, you guys are gay for each other, right? Hand job? Hand job? Hand job, 2 hand jobs, please.
They grow up to be a huge slut, aren't you? Yep, look at that tongue.
Make me a sandwich, I can't refuse.
No, Luke.
Excuse me, madam. Do you have any heroin for sale?
Perhaps the only thing the Chinese share with Western culture is their infatuation with their cell phones. Nevertheless, they always shout into the phones when they're on a call, without a care in the world for the noise pollution they emit into the public. Face-to-face interpersonal communication is also unreasonably loud, for example in this typical conversation. But what is found above ground pales in comparison to the complex subterranean interactions that exist beneath the surface. Here, in the underground domain of tunnels, called the metro, these creatures traverse the metropolis with the likeness of army ants. In fact, these cave-dwelling creatures spend so much time underground and out of the sunlight, as evolution has caused their eyes to narrow significantly, similar to that of their closest relative, the mole. Moving in such large numbers, anyone trying to swim against the current would be swiftly carried downstream like a twig. Not only is it a magnificent sight, but also a metaphor for communism. But make no mistake about it, competition is fierce, and every day lies witness to constant confrontation. The floodgates open, and like a medieval battle, opponents charge from both sides, meeting with colossal collisions. The sight is mesmerizing, and our cameras have been able to capture it. Despite several thousand years of tradition that maintains you must save face, people will have no problem pushing you out of the way and walking over you in order to maximize their chance at a scarce seat. Verbal and physical altercations rarely ensue. Rather, the practice is subtle boxing out and passive-aggressive body checking. The doors open and the chase is on. The race for the lone seat is a sprint, with tribesmen from all walks of life participating. Better luck next time. Here, this adolescent male is denied his niche by an elder member of the tribe. Surely no females will be interested in mating with him now. Territory on the metro is fierce competition.
The kind of poor societal etiquette that would get you stabbed just about anywhere else is displayed in Shanghai on a perpetual occurrence. Chivalry is not only dead, they've pissed on the gravestone. My own personal theory is rooted in China's one-child policy. We've all got that one friend who was a single child growing up, whose parents spoiled them and they always got their way. Here, you've got that same scenario, but played out times 1.3 billion people. And so it's bred the largest population on the planet that consists entirely of douchebags and assholes who care about the well-being of no one else but their own self.
For example, feeling entitled to drive your motorcycle down a busy pedestrian walkway and beeping at those in your way. Many foreigners make the fatal mistake of utilizing their manners and politely let others ahead of them. But for those who abandon their courteous ways, becoming actively engaged in this mosh pit culture can be quite rewarding, as you quickly find out there are no repercussions for rudely pushing people out of your way.
They love me, love me, love me. Been down with this shit since 2003. That big dick shit swinging past the knees. Elephantitis of the cock, it's a real disease. Just Google that shit if you don't believe it. I'm balling on you suckers, millions balling on you suckers, millions balling on you suckers. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Another mystifying cultural ideal practiced by the natives is the act of doing as little physical exercise as possible when commuting.
Here, in this sunken terrain, there exists electrical stairs. While these conveyors do also exist in the Western world, the proportion of passengers is a staggering figure. Even the punctual Chinese businessman will queue up for half a minute to ride up one flight of stairs rather than manually ascend. One theory lies in the ever-questionable decision to wear tight jeans, which restrict the knee's ability to bend. Even descending these 10 steps warrants a wait in line for the escalator, as it's known locally. Let's count how many people take the stairs in this elapsed minute.
Green, green grass, yellow, yellow lemons, and green, green trees. Purple, purple grapes, and green, green leaves. Blue, blue skies, and green, green kites. Orange, orange mangoes, and green, green frogs. A beautiful rainbow looks so nice.
I finally try my own hand at this local mode of transport.
I've just crop dusted all of these people. I have nowhere to go but to the wake. So I've just come across some enormous temporary statue modelled after what looks to be some sort of Trojan horse. What does this mean? Are these creatures somehow obsessed with this godly manifestation to explain natural occurrences? God, look at this size. Or possibly, do they believe in a polydyadic system with multiple creatures similar to this, or is this horse simply the one and only deity? God blimey, that's something, isn't it? And again we see this shrine to this horse god figure more than ever. Look at it, they really do love this equine deity of some sort. I can't exactly tell why or what it is. Something about it is just fascinating. As I spend more and more time in this wasteland, I become flooded with imagery depicting this horse god. I've never really cared much for horses, so I don't understand the infatuation. It's just fucking weird seeing them everywhere.
There are convenience stores located at just about every corner. But does the meaning of convenience translate across cultural boundaries? Let's have a look inside and see if this might be the Western oasis that I can rely on for resources and supplies.
As you can see, China is a country of BYOB deodorants, and they simply don't believe in that here, but you can buy all sorts of other things, such as freeze-dried meats. Here we've got freeze-dried chicken legs, more chicken, some duck, and worst of all, freeze-dried fish. It's horrible stuff, and you have to imagine what kind of apocalypse people are preparing for by buying these. My only thoughts on this are that I'm glad these things weren't around during pledging. As a foreigner, eating these could make me violently sick and cause a devastating loss of fluids.
Cup of noodles, anyone? Well, this looks like a typical refrigerator. It's actually pumping through warm air. Believe it or not, warm air. In fact, they don't believe in cold drinks here. And even if you order, a beer, it'll come warm
if you order water, it'll usually come so scalding hot that Satan himself would need to wait 30 minutes before drinking it. Here we've got a Red Bull can. So not only is it warm and tiny in this tiny can, it's a very weird top to open it. It's also got no carbonation, so it actually is now the same taste and consistency as urine. Unfortunately, in survival situations, drinking urine is sometimes the only way to stay alive. So I've got to do what I've got to do. See, I was able to buy those beers for just about what would be equivalent 50 cents for beer for a 24-ounce beer. It's a pretty good deal, but other than that, there wasn't really much that I could use in there, and it just shows really again how hostile of an environment this is, and it's not going to be easy to make it here.
If your dumping game isn't in top shape, your first words on arrival to China will be, "Are you shitting me?" Barbaric sanitation practices seem to have changed little since the Dark Ages, such as needing to throw your wipes into a trash can instead of flushing them.
Here I am outside one of these post-communist fecal collection facilities where citizens come to indulge in the most primal pastime, a practice known in the West as shitting your brains out.
Facilities range from your basic hole in the floor to the trench, where you can see everyone else's poop up and down the row, to last but not least, the cubicle.
It's interesting to see these sanctuaries sprouted throughout the city, seeing as laws against public urination and defecation are essentially non-existent.
We opened the door here to find nothing but a hole in the floor. No toilet paper, so to speak. That's obviously BYO, and it's the bin that we carry toilet paper into. Going to have to squat in such a way as to keep my pants and not shitting onto my pants. It's very difficult. I've got to hold this thing out here. It's not easy. There's really no chance to play any games on your phone here, and it's difficult to just squat. See how it's turned out. I've actually done quite well there. Yeah, got it in. It's like wiping it. It's going to be just as difficult. There you have it, folks. So, I realised I was in there for an awful long time. It's now dark out, and I have no comment on that. However, my only conclusion from this experience has been that I now completely understand why they will refuse to take the stairs in any situation and will opt to wait in line for the escalator. And it's because after squatting for all that time, my thighs are killing me, and I would have no tolerance for any steps whatsoever, and that's all that I can take from this. This is much better.
The structural brilliance of just a simple trash can provides the much needed pelvic support required to execute the Western dump. Unfortunately, this time I forgot to bring toilet paper.
Yeah, that's a healthy one right there. Right there, you can see it.
My washing machine's been temporarily compromised. It's an unfortunate setback, but a scenario that could spell disaster if you're not adequately prepared to handle it. You know, times are desperate when you need to disengage your gravity bong in order to make a wash tub for your clothes. Earlier today, this teenaged girl offered me her lunch, but I wasn't hungry at the time. Now, I'm famished, and I'll need some sustenance to keep me going.
And I've finally come across my first signs of seeing the English language, and it comes in the form of bologna. And for those who know me, you know that bologna is one of my favourite deli meats. I hope is that not only may I be able to communicate with them in English, but they may also offer me a bologna sandwich.
I slip past the guard and make my way in. But this place is barren. At first glance, there's nothing I can use here.
Hey, do you know where I can find a bologna sandwich?
Bologna?
Yeah. Bologna? This way. Bologna, great, thank you. Oh, okay. Okay, up here. Thank you. Do you guys have bologna sandwiches?
Hello?
Sandwiches?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Fuck.
And it's situations like these that can really, really knock you down, get inside your head, and start to make you doubt yourself a little bit. You know, first it was the convenience store, now it's this, and you know, I'm not saying that I've cracked yet, but there's certainly a bit of doubt that's been installed in my mind after this, and I've got to be wary. Here at the local supermarket, see what kind of delicacies we find.
The Chinese grocery place is a nauseating yet fascinating encampment. The Chinese don't discriminate on food. Anything with a pulse can eventually be stewed. Animals that the Western world calls pets, the Chinese call dinner. Frogs, snakes, salamanders, eels, and other amphibians can all be found in your typical dish. And turtles are especially enjoyed. If this is your first time seeing a turtle ripped open and gutted with scissors, you're in for quite a treat.
一只蛙多少钱？
啊，
一只蛙多少钱？
一次挖多少钱？
这一个。
你要买？
嗯。
你要买啊？你要买啊？
我
买啊？要啊？
有啊。
要啊？多少钱？那我帮你称。
只要一个。
我帮你称几个？
不要4个。
4个啊？
不要4。
啊
4。
你要吃啊？
不要，我要活生活。
要活的？
对
要几个啊？
一个。
一个啊
一个。
8块钱。
8块。
对。
好。Finally back at base now. It's been a long day. I'm absolutely perished. It turns out I've got no food left, and I'm absolutely starving. So, in such survival situations, you have to know how to adapt and live off the land, as they say. And in my state of hunger, this little fella is looking more and more delectable. What do you say we fire up the wok? Look at him, what's the fucking man? I didn't even flinch when I said I was gonna roast him. Well, I could certainly use a friend being all alone. You know what? I think I'll call you Caldwell. So, a lot going on today. It's a busy day. Obviously, you saw all of it, so I don't see why I should have to reflect on it. Just fucking getting desperate out here. I called the bank today. I pressed 2 for English. Still fucking Chinese. Unfucking believable. This place is absolutely relentless, and I'm starting to get desperate. Really, it's a desolate situation, being stranded out here on my own, and it's. I have to be honest, it's starting to take its toll on me, and I'm getting worn down, and you know, I'm starting to get a bit worried that I might not be making it out of here anytime soon. Escape is just simply, I think, disreputable at this point, and it's a difficult realization to swallow. I've got to try and focus on the positives and try and keep my self-esteem at a manageable level. Otherwise, I'm just going to get burdened and worn down. And luckily, at least I've got my trusty guitar here, so I can try and you know, get through some days just playing on it. So here we go. Honestly, just didn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
I was walking through the park, it was getting very dark.
Haggling is Shanghai's unofficial amateur sport, and it's endless markets like these where athletes from all over come to try out their competitive bartering skills. And as you can see, I've donned the traditional tourist garments, but more did give away than anything is the fact that I've got this beer here, and the Chinese don't actually drink, and I'm not sure that I can blame them too much since beers are always warm.
So what's the history of this market?
It used to be the cricket market.
Cricket market?
Yeah.
Chinese like crickets, don't they? Yeah, the cricket fights.
Right.
Yeah. How much for that pen?
This one?
No, this one right here.
Oh, this one.
How much?
How much?
Hmm? Oh no, that's too much.
Usually how much?
That's too much.
Usually how much?
I'll give you maybe that much.
Okay. How much?
11?
Okay.
Okay, 13.
这个你给多少钱？你买过我的？
这
多少
我是买。
嗯。
多少钱？
啊？
多少钱
给你20块。
？20块。
嗯。
啊，太贵。
多少钱？
那太贵。
多少钱？你买过的你多少钱？
要中国交钱，我住在上海。
我都没给你开价呀，是的呀。你给多少钱？就是中国呀。
那不是。
多少钱？
你放了吗？
啊？讲讲看，没事的。
嗯。
没事，你说多少钱
8块。
你上次买多少？你上次好像买的15块吧？你在我这买过的好像15块吧？8块我都拿不到的。
10块。
15块，好吧
11好。
13、
11、
12、
11、
12、
11、
12块了，OK。
12块。
嗯，
好好好。
Clearly, just by assimilating, or rather blending into my environment, I've been able to get a significantly reduced price on that item as compared to my other outfit, which clearly outed me as a tourist.
And you can see this survival technique is displayed ubiquitously throughout nature. You think of a chameleon, how it blends into its surroundings in order to evade capture, or how in zombie movies the protagonist will sometimes act like a zombie, the zombies won't attack it. And it's a similar situation, so too have I discovered that by becoming an imposter of the Chinese, that my chances of longevity have increased dramatically.
Locals from around town converge on this very park to deal and wheel at various games of Chinese dice, Chinese chess and dominoes. This seems to be the Eastern equivalent of street craps. Money on the line, high stakes. The livelihoods of some are ruined, plunging further into the depths of debt, while the dreams of others are realized, attained through gratification of an instant tax-free acquisition of small bills. This, my friends, is capitalism at its finest, and it is a striking surprise to see such events played on, unsanctioned by the regime.
他叫什么？他叫什么名字？
陪酒，
陪酒。
大陪酒，不是小陪酒。懂吗？
玩吧。
啊？
玩吗？玩吧。
啊？
玩吧。
什么玩吧？
好玩。
好玩。
Undeniable, latex unappliable. Don't be shy, don't look surprised, don't be so scared of my white eyes. Despite my manhood, got the manhood, give clinics on Planned Parenthood. Once I did a stewardess, busted on her lusty breast. She was good but not the best, I guess I'll have to test the rest. Wet and drippy, trippy, inky, sticky, tippy, happy, slappy, slappy, now please, oh please, make her serif, tap,
So it's been about 3 days now, or at least what feels like 3 days. Already, I've got no idea. I've lost track of time completely. But having said that, I'm starting to feel a bit more acclimated actually, getting used to the way things are done around here. You're starting to get a foothold on things. But despite these positives, still can't help but feel a bit down today, a bit blue. Obviously after losing my best friend here, Caldwell. It was good times we had together, there's no denying that. And really lost a good one today, we really did. Alright, at that market earlier today, I also picked up this little gem. Not too sure actually what it is. Some sort of genie lamp or something, but you know, my thinking is maybe I'll rub it for good luck. Some of my wishes will come true. Nah, I don't really believe in that sort of jiu-jitsu or anything like that, but I think it looks cool, and so we open it up, see what we can find.
Oh my God, I thought it was gone forever. Caldwell, my boy, how you doing down there? Oh, glad to have you back, mate. Seriously, who put that there? Honestly, what the f...
It's dark out now, and I need to get my rest. But it's frigid in here, and you can hear that noise. That's my heater. It's broken, and it makes it difficult because it's absolutely freezing in here. And if I try to go to sleep like this, it could be the end of me. And to add insult to injury, take a look here. This mattress is made up of these old steel coils. Let's have a look here. Get right into it, and you can see there. They're just metal, and the metal's been conducting the cold air all day. And actually, lying on this would probably make my body even colder, and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to show you this old survival trick that I picked up back in the forces, and it could end up saving my life right here. What you want to do is simply put your laptop computer right on top of the mattress, right on top of the metal coils here. What that's going to do, it's going to push the heat from the computer, the fan, the heat, you can already feel it under there. Yeah, it's going to push the heat into the metal. The heat from the metal is going to spread around the mattress, and that's going to make it actually quite pleasant, and you can feel the heat difference between that, and you want the computer right on the core where your core is going to be. I'm just going to get right up in here, right next to the computer, and I can already tell that's going to make a world of difference, and that's something that I can do. It actually makes it for quite a pleasant night's sleep, all things considering.
Next challenge, I'll be putting myself into a terribly dangerous situation to show you how to best manage your odds of surviving. Don't be fooled by the combination of jeans and sweater vest athletic gear. Your opponents are likely to be distant cousins of Jeremy Lin and Yao Ming. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're facing your enemy alone, follow these survival techniques.
That makes you stop. The beat's on dripping, it's making you slickin'. It's a time bomb ticking, cause I'm a musician. Hot licks on vision, my jump shot switching. Grab a seat and listen to these lessons on bridging. Fools nicking music, it's a video game. The flavors blazing, trails of the raven lasers craving my name. High blind cantaloupe headed for your brain. Lyrics that you're so hard that you're now insane. Like a train.
Yeah, competition out here. Extremely fierce. It's like a 5th grade playground. Face to face, the very barbarians that I've been able to avoid for so long. But you know, my only hope at this point is that I haven't contracted any of the yellow fever disease from them. weapon of choice is called baijiu, which translates to white spirits. And here you've got it in this hand grenade size for an equivalent of 73 cents. More commonly though, you can buy it in a large gallon sized jug, which will cost you about $5 US. So it's pretty cheap. You obviously pay for it the next day. But it's rumored that if you drink one of these, chase it with beer, you're absolutely 100% guaranteed to black out. But I guess there's only one way to find out if that's true or not. So here we go, doing this thing. Got the white spirits, the baijiu right here. Crack this open. Honestly, I'm a bit nervous, got no idea what to expect. It's like I'm trying a new drug here or something like that. It smells terrible. Oh my god. This is a fun little learning point right here. Cheers in Chinese is ganbei, which literally translates to bottoms up, which means, you know, kill your drink. Just another thing, all things China, try to be nice to somebody, say cheers to them, end up just fucking yourself in the ass because you gotta finish your drink. Anyway, ganbei. Tastes like that feeling you get after you drink like way too many shots of tequila and you're about to just puke your brains out. Now for part 2. It's just horrible. I already feel myself blacking out. I didn't eat anything before this. Christ. That's about $40 for all you can drink and all you can drive for 5 hours. It's a pretty good deal. I think between hitting the tire rolls and hitting the booze, I'll be lucky to leave here with any brain cells at all. what happened last night? Whoa. Oh no. No, 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 no!
Mr. Vandersnatch, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. You've got the yellow fever.
No!
It appears there may actually be some sign of intelligent life here after all, as I've managed to discover an old feeding outpost that will be able to accommodate the culinary luxuries of my Western diet.
Turns out, China isn't as hostile as my initial hypothesis would suggest. At first glance, one certainly imagines that a foreign communist country will be reduced to complete disarray and anarchy. While that might be true in some cases, the fact remains there's so much freedom here, it hurts. I mean, where else in the world can you walk into a convenience store, buy a beer, drink it right there, and then walk outside and piss on the floor? It's unbelievable. I mean, you can really get away with anything here. Anything you can do, anything you want to. I mean, really, as long as you don't kill someone.
Which is why I have to be extra careful.
Money. No.